One of the hardest things to do in Kendo is understanding when to attack. A lot of times people end up guessing, so they either hesitate or they rush in. But in Kendo, you really need to understand how to anticipate the moment and strike with confidence. So let's break down how can you start making some opportunities to improve your chances of getting ippon. In Kendo, there are three main moments that you're looking for in order to score an ippon. One is when your opponent moves, whether their shinai leaves the center, they shift their weight, or they try to pressure you. Next one is after they do a technique. So that moment after where they might lose balance, they might not have good follow through, they might even pause. And lastly, when your pressure breaks them. The first two might seem a little bit random, a little bit like out of your hands, but the truth is that the three of them you should be able to start making them happen. So how do you create the right moment to strike? The key to it is having always a forward mentality and be the first to move. Not the first to attack, but being the first to move to get a reaction from your opponent. You cannot be there just waiting for your opponent to do something in order for you to start figuring out what you're going to do. The best example for this, I think, is the banawasa, because although it might look like the opponent is coming in for men and you beat them to the man, what you're looking for to do is actually put pressure, make the opponent come in for the attack, but because you already came in with that pressure, you have the advantage and you can actually anticipate the opponent coming and you can take the man before they actually hit you. But how do you train yourself to anticipate the opponent and feel the right moment? The first thing you want to do is kihon with observation. Try to figure out what happens right before your partner gives you an opening and how can you transition from your kamae smoothly into a technique. The next one is you want to try different approaches. Don't just go through the motions, try to figure out how you can use your footwork, your shinai, your presence, even just slight shifts in your body weight that you can start making your opponent react. Even though you know they're gonna give you an opening, can you make them give you that opening? Can you have that conversation with your partner? The next one is actually flipping it in the other side, is be an intentional motodachi. When you're receiving, it's a great time for practice, again, to develop that conversation with your partner. But in these times, can you make your opponent attack? Try to figure out what can you do, what signals can you give your partner in order to make them move. Next one, and it's a great one for all levels, is video analysis. Make sure that you either record yourself or you're watching other people and you take the time to study not only how the ippon was taken, not only the technique itself, but what happens right before. Ask yourself what triggered the attack. Even in your own videos, if you feel that you're attacking without an opportunity, try to figure out why are you attacking? What triggered that attack and what should you do different? Lastly, and this is something that you can also bring into Jigeiko, practice with intention. How can you put more pressure and get a reaction from your opponent? But remember, most people miss because they hesitate or they rush in. The point here is to start becoming aware of what are you doing and why are you doing it. Keep in mind, you're acting, not reacting. Sometimes you might attack and feel that you are the first person moving, but pay attention. Did your opponent do something that makes you want to come in, that makes you want to move? That's okay as long as you're aware of it and you're actively trying to fix it. Act, don't react. Be the first person giving pressure and try to make your opponent make a mistake. Of course, you want to have the readiness when your opponent makes the mistake itself, but ideally, you're the one that should make the opponent make a mistake. Some questions that you want to ask yourself if you want to improve your Kendo: did I give pressure? Did I react? And did I commit to a technique? The more you ask yourself these questions, the more you start understanding the timing and your level will come up. And the good thing about this is that it will take you off from thinking about these things at that moment. You cannot waste the time to overthink at the moment when you're in the fight. You want to try to learn from what you do and start making these things natural. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight, so you have to stay curious and you have to keep observing yourself and observing your opponent. If you want to stop second guessing yourself, you really have to focus on pressure, rhythm, and reading your opponent. If this helped you, please let me know down in the comments and tell me if you want me to make a video breaking down different patterns and rhythms that you can use to create opportunities and get reaction from your opponent. And if you want to go deeper on setting up yourself for an attack, you might want to check out this video I made on shikakewasa, where I break down how to create pressure and striking with confidence. Thank you very much for watching, and please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and let me know down in the comments. Catch you in the next one.